Welcome to episode 9. I've continually recorded this one after we finished with episode 7, but I wanted to give a little break between then so that we could show you some coding things, and now we can continue with more of a demonstration as to what the toolkit can do. I think once we've completed with this, we'll start looking about how to make our own. So the turtle has produced this ladder up to the surface, and it's got these little cubby holes. I've planted a few torches around, and I've placed now Turtle 01, which is one that dug the shaft in the first place, into that little nook and cranny there. So we're going to just Control T to terminate the program. I was just testing it before I started here. We'll clear the screen, and we'll put in the toolkit. So we want the mining tools, and this time we want to actually create the mine. So it says press FD to check the level, look for Z. Actually that should be Y. I've just realized there's an error there. Place me down at level 5, 9 or 13. So if I escape that and press F3, you'll see we are at level 5. So we're pretty much at the bottom, and it's bedrock just below us. So get rid of that, F3. So we can now press enter there. Now it says add 1 Minecraft lava bucket to any slot, or add 3 Minecraft coal, or 11 Minecraft planks. This is obviously to fuel it. I happen to have some coal here. We might as well give it all. Again, we can randomly put that in. So it's now asking for 24 Minecraft torch to any slots. I've pre-made some torches. We'll stick 32 in there. 30 tile Minecraft cobblestone. Let's stick those in. And 1 Minecraft chest. Again, I'd already created that. Right, we're ready to go. So it's planted itself a torch, and it's now heading along the passageway here. When the tunnel was dug, it had already done 4 or 5 explorations to make sure that it was still above bedrock. This would have been a disaster if, when cutting this down here, it had been at a level 4, and then we try to come forward and it crunches into the bedrock and can't go any further. So we now know we're gliding across the top level of bedrock, and it's placing torches automatically as it goes along, so that if you're following in survival mode, you can continue to keep an eye on it. Now the program is made in such a way that it will cut a passageway which is, I believe, 32 blocks from end to end, and then once it's got to the end, it'll rotate and come back down again. So I think we're probably, this will be the last little section. At the same time as it's going along, what it's doing is if there are any valuable materials on the floor, that is coal or ores, I better reverse, it's coming for me, coal or ores, it will mine them and store them inside it. It's still coming. It should turn to, if I remember right, the right hand side. Now the chest that it had inside it is being deployed here by the turtle to allow it to sort out the inventory. It's placing stuff in the chest to make sure that everything is put together, and then it puts the chest back in. So if we right click on the turtle, oops, and head in and see what it's up to, you'll see that already it's got some useful materials, and it keeps that chest in there, and it will use the coal whenever it starts to run out of fuel. So it's fairly intelligent. So the idea is here to make a cross shape. Again, we'll go 16 blocks, I believe, that way, and then it'll come back down here and go 16 blocks in that direction. Once it's done that, it'll return back to the entrance here, and then not quite at this point, I believe, yes, I think it's just here, it starts to break through the walls this way and create a square passage around the whole, so that these cross here links up, so that once it's gone along this direction, it'll come up this direction. And again, it's putting stuff into the chest to sort it out here. Now it's going to do the other side. We'll wait for it to do its stuff and then we can go past it. So the square will run in parallel with this wall here, and then it'll come towards us here and then continue down that way, so that we get an entire square. What I'll do to save you having to watch this is I will pause the recording and only unpause it if I see something of particular interest or when we've got to a particular spot. So I will shoot down here and wait for it to come back along here, and we will pause now. Okay, so it's coming back towards me now, so I shall move out of the way so that it can do its job unimpaired. Now you can see it's kind of bricking us in here. The reason for that is that the idea is that the turtle will create a mine here, and then you put another one down here. So what I'll do is I'll just remove this one so that we can see what's going on. Because I started the turtle where the torch currently is, it hasn't given us any kind of room along here. It might have been better perhaps to have knocked a hole here. So what I'll do is I'll go around the back here and show you the ideal position to put the turtle when we want to do the back. We have to leave this column here because it supports the ladder. So perhaps rather than putting it here, we'll put it one space further in there, and then that will allow us to do the other side there. So let's just chase it around to see what it's doing. So it's come back down here, it's gone to this side here, it's gone round, and it's going along here. Now what it's doing as it's going at this point is it's turning to check what's on this wall. So if there's anything of value on the ground level on this wall, it will mine it out. So if there's any diamonds, any now you watch here, the gravel is falling and it's coping with that by destroying it at regular intervals. This process of going round this corridor happens twice. It goes round at this level and then it goes round at ceiling level, and it will then fill in any gaps here, so that if, for example, we were now in the middle of a lava lake, it would box it in so that we don't have lava flying all the way around the player. So here we've now joined this corridor, so we've now got a complete cross. Had we not been at bedrock, it would have planted a chest here, and then inside the chest would have gone any minerals that it dumped that didn't have room to carry. So it's a good idea to chase it around every so often just to pick up stuff that it drops, because obviously what we don't want is to fill up the inventory to the point where any diamonds are simply dropped because there isn't space for them. Right, again I will pause at this point until it's finished the the square here. I've just unpaused it here because you'll see that there's a diamond block here that the turtle has not cut. The reason for that is the whole of this area here will be mined out later. At the moment it's concentrating only against the outer wall of the square, so that one it'll collect later. So I think we're on the final run of the square now. You can still see bedrock in front of us. So we'll very shortly be coming up to the end of this square. So again, we'll shift and wait and come back to that in a second. Okay, just to show you here, it's broken into some lava. I have just, as I'm playing in survival mode, I've just backtracked and seen what it's up to here. So we'll have to go round and pick the turtle up this way so that I don't run into the lava. So it should come through here fairly shortly. I'll take that torch off because it's going to break it anyway. So we can probably hear it coming. It shouldn't be too long now. And again, it will block up this area here. There we go. So let's stand back. So it's just sorting its inventory out down in the corridor there, and had there been a chest here instead of bedrock, it would have put some of that whatever it's found. At the moment it's just dumping it on the ground, so we'll go and pick it up shortly, and again it will be coming back this way. Just finish sorting the chest out. Right, now it's now going to start looking at the ceiling rather than the floor, and so this is where, when it comes round at this side, it will repair that lava. Again, it's going to block us in, so we'll go and break that out of the way. There we go. So it's now going along, checking again the outside wall here and the ceiling, so it will fill in any gaps in the ceiling. Don't think there was much significance there, so what we'll do is we'll wait for it to come round and show how it blocks off this lava to enable us to go through. So I'll head round that way and pause the video while we're waiting for that to come. Right, so we're coming up to the lava, so we'll see if it will repair. It's been repairing the ceiling as it's been going round so far. It will also repair this side wall. What it can't do is, if the lava is coming from this side, at this stage it won't be able to block it. So we'll see what... yep, looks like we're going ahead so far. Okay, looks like it's done it. So yep, so it's sealed up the leaking lava, which is of course is behind these walls now, and has gone on. So this has definitely worked. It's allowed us as a survivor player to follow behind the turtle. So what we'll do is we'll wait until it gets back to the ladder, which is here, and again I'll break those out. Now this is where it's starting to mine out the top level of each of... We've now got 4 square sections, roughly 16 by 16, and it's going to go up and down each of those sections in turn. And the way this works is that as it goes along, it checks to see what is above it and what's below it. If there's anything of value above or below, it will mine it. If there's a hole in the ceiling, it will plug it. So we're now doing the second section here. We've gone straight across doing the second section. Then when it comes to the end, it'll sort out its inventory and dump anything that is not required. That's cobble. It's eating the coal, so it's mining that, and it'll use that for fuel. Here's where it starts dumping stuff out. If I right click on it, you can see things are moving around in the inventory, and it's thrown out what it doesn't need, so we can go and collect that. And so it'll go constantly down that, and once it's completed this side of the mine, it'll do exactly the same process on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the second turtle behind the shaft here. As we've got two turtles, we may as well use them, and I'll come back to you when there's something more to show. So the first turtle has almost completed this half of the mine. These gaps in the middle were probably just holes in the floor anyway, or they may have contained minerals which have been extracted. Plugs in the ceiling, you can see cobblestone has been put here where there were again either gaps or perhaps there were minerals there that were useful. So it's just spitting, oops, I should need to back out here. So it's now going to return back to base and then start working on this half of the mine. So I'll just go and collect the blocks that it has dumped out here. There we go. And we'll let it go on its merry way. And we'll check on the other turtle that I placed in the other side. That's very neat. It's plugged its own hole there. So that's quite handy. Right, so that's starting on that side. I've put a chest here to show what's been collected so far from this turtle. There's quite a lot of stuff that it's gathered. To see what's already inside it, if we right click on it, okay, we've got some ores, coal, redstone. At the moment no diamonds, but it should pick the one that we spotted somewhere around here if I recall. Yep, there, so it should pick that one in due course, and of course if there's any behind it, it'll pick that. So we'll go and see what his friend is doing on the other side. Okay, now this one's got more lava coming in here. I don't think this one has gone round yet to repair any defects, and it looks as if this lava is coming from the inner wall, so that one will probably stay. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, same up on here. See where it is round this side. Oh dear. Right, well there's a whole bunch of diamonds here which it will obviously come and collect fairly shortly. So at the moment it's doing its sealing run, sealing up any gaps in the ceiling. It won't touch this just yet. It'll do that because of the position of this on the mine. It's one of the last things it will pick up, because it will do this side first. So again, I think what we'll do is we'll leave them to it. I'll keep running around and tidying up and collecting all the debris that they don't want, and we'll come back onto it again if there's something else of interest to show here. Right, I've been following this turtle around for a while now. This is the first one that we put down, and I've just gone behind it and mined a little bit behind just to expose these diamonds to show you how it does collect them. Obviously it won't do that one until its turn. It should take the one above it out now. Yep. It's now dumping any rubbish that it doesn't want. And again it should take the one out up above. So you can see how efficient this system is. We are basically clearing from 1 to 3 levels with one run of this turtle. So the idea is to stack these mines one above each other, separated by 3 or 4 levels, so that you don't miss any diamonds, and you do that for 3 levels on the ones that were suggested on the first screen, and that will get all the diamonds that form between levels, I believe 5 and 12 very efficiently, plus of course a whole load more other minerals that are useful. So we'll just go back and see how the other turtle is doing. Okay, he's got a lot more lava to deal with. I've just dug these little side passages to help try and rescue some more raw materials, and I've made a little passageway through here. Oh, this looks like some good news. We've got a bunch of diamonds coming up here as well. What I might do is wait for him to harvest them, and then we'll steal them. The reason it's hesitating is it's checking to make sure that there's enough space in the inventory for diamonds, and is dumping any excess so that they're always collected. There we go, 3 diamonds, so we'll take those, and there'll be some other useful ores here, we might as well take those as well. Just leave it with plenty of cobble and some coal. There we are, so we'll let it do its job. And we'll dump all this lot in here. Oops, our chest is full, so we'll probably need to return to the surface. If you want to leave these turtles doing their stuff at the bottom of the mine here, you can do. But the unfortunate thing about Computercraft is that the turtles will only run while they are within the chunks that have been loaded. So if you wander too far off from where they're currently working underneath the ground there, they will stop working. Which is a bit of a pain because they may not have finished doing the mining operation. We're currently in spawn chunks, so these would probably carry on even if I wandered off a long way, but I don't want to test that out, so we'll just assume that we're going to be hanging about in this area for the time being. So I think that will do. I'll wait until the turtles have both finished and are back in place here, and then we'll see what the result of our overall harvest is. Right, so this is the turtle on its this is the second turtle on its final run, so we should be rescuing these diamonds here now. Again, just making space for them. Again, I'll steal them from it. So we can see from the 2 turtles we now have a total of 18 diamonds, a whole bunch of ores, various other resources which I've now put in the chest near the mine floor. So the pools of lava that are left behind are extremely useful for refueling the turtles, so I'm leaving those exactly where they are. I'm not going to fill them in, and we'll bring the turtles back at another time in order to refuel them. So let's just show you what's in the chest. So there we are, we've got a whole bunch of resources that have come up. So we've got all the cobble and andesite and gravel and other sort of general building blocks, and then we've got copper ore, iron ore, tin ore, electrotine ore, gold ore. Only 2, unfortunately. Would have nice to have had more, because we can then build advanced turtles with them, but we need a lot more gold ore. But as we'll be mining things further up in the levels, hopefully more gold will become available. But 18 diamonds, I think, demonstrates how useful the turtle is, and you can see the amount of wear on my stone pickaxe, which is the only digging weapon I've got, is almost halfway, and yet we've got all that lot in its place. So we've got both the turtles are now waiting for us, so we can break them, pick them up, make sure we've got them on board. Yep, there we are, Turtle 01 and the tutorial, and a whole bunch of stuff. So that was a very useful demonstration of just how powerful having a turtle in your inventory is, we can now make some more turtles. We can maybe start on diamond armor. By the time we run these 2 turtles on 2 floors above, which takes around an hour and a quarter to do each section, and of course the more turtles you have, you can do 6 layers in one go. And so on a future mine we could probably get 30 or 40 diamonds out of one mine in about an hour and a half, so that's pretty good going.